What it do, what it do, what it do, who? Welcome to Humble Good Times. I am Eden the Hero. Welcome. Um, Another week. Journeying through adversity. Now, I just gotta say, I'm gonna shout myself out. I look tired, and that's because I am. It's been a long day. I'm due for my treatment. I still haven't gotten insurance yet, and my voice sounding kind of weak. But I'm here. I gotta get this entered for the week, and I don't know why I didn't think to do it earlier, but I just knew, like, when I got home from church and the grocery store, I got into some cleaning, and I did some working out, and then after my workout, I was like, I need to hit this hair. So I just want to shout myself out. Shout out to me for my haircut. I am really happy with my results and how much better I'm actually getting. I'm gaining more confidence with using the clippers and to actually cut the hair and all that good stuff. So it just feels really good to, like, to have this skill. Just another skill under my belt of something I could do for myself that I don't have to spend a lot of money on. So, I mean, the guy that I followed on YouTube when I first started cutting my hair, he was very clear on it's not going to be perfect. You're probably going to mess it up a few times, but you'll get better the more you do it. And he wasn't lying. And he's like, it doesn't have to be perfect though, as long as it's decent. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do decent. I don't have to have it perfect. So the good thing is, it's like when I last got my hair cut, I was just keeping up with keeping this low on the sides and then just keeping the top trimmed up, and then really working with the trimmers for my lineup and everything. That part is probably the hardest, only because it's a lot of having to hold a mirror to the back, like turning around in my bathroom. I have a big mirror on my wall, and just being able to see the back and everything. That's been just the hardest part about cutting, I would say. The cats might act up today or in a little bit because they're super I guess they got enough rest, so now they want to just be up and shit. So don't mind them. I'm trying not to, but y'all don't mind them if you happen to hear or see them. So probably won't be a long one now. I don't think I can handle it tonight because I still gotta edit and everything. But this is episode number 37. Shout out to me again for the consistency. Shout out to my friend Lex for always shouting me out on her lives every Thursday, which y'all should join that if you're interested. I can definitely put it right here. It's on her Facebook, or actually YouTube, Instagram. She goes live every Thursday with whatever comes across her spirit to talk about, and she's been doing something about telling your story. So that's something I've always believed in, sharing your story to help the next person, for us to all connect and no one to feel alone in this world. That's why I like storytelling and being able to help others tell their stories. So shout out to you, Lex. Shout out to Sir. Yeah, so I'm just gonna be real with y'all and tell you this, because I feel like I have not been as vulnerable as I try to be on this with going through adversity. The weight is getting heavier for me, if I'm being honest, with every passing week at this point, because the days go by so fast. It'd be the next week. So with every passing week, I'm just, waking up, trying to stay motivated through this. Like, I had to have a heart to heart with Jesus this today after church, and just be real about how I really feel, because I've been feeling like I just been trying to keep myself from going into this place of real worry. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to even stress myself out, and I've been doing everything to not stress myself out. So I have like all these things that I do, whether it's reading, working on my script, creating designs. I've been reading, like I said, 4 books, so I'm doing whatever I can to stay from crashing out, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I had a heart to heart with God, and I'm scared. It's a scary feeling of not having a stable income right now. With people getting let go, there's so many layoffs happening. And then on top of that, not having insurance is like a big problem for me, because I need to get my treatment every 6 weeks. I'm probably like 3 weeks behind at this point. No, tomorrow will be a month. Tomorrow will be a whole month since I was supposed to get my treatment. So yeah, tomorrow's the 14th. I was supposed to get it last month on the 14th. So yeah, and I'm still waiting to hear from Medicaid. I took a trip to the office this past week because getting them on the phone is impossible. I don't know if it's because of the layoffs or the terminations that they had from that stupid ass Doge, but it's like hard as hell to get on the phone with someone from Medicaid. So I stood in line for a good like hour, maybe hour and a half, somewhere around there, just waiting to talk to someone to see what my status is. And then I'm standing in line waiting. I'm like the third person behind, waiting to speak to someone. And this lady's kind of going through the line to see if anybody got any paperwork they gotta make copies of or anything, or paperwork that they gotta submit. So she gets to me. I'm like, she's like, what are you here for? I'm like, I'm just here to talk to someone because I need to like know where my status is with my application, because I was like, it shows a denial on my account, but it still shows my application still pending, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's confusing as hell, and I can't get nobody on the phone. She's like, well, when did you apply? I was like, back on the 4th of March. She's like, well, it actually takes up to 60 days for your application to even be seen. So this is premature right now for you to come talk to someone. I'm like, well, I need to still talk to someone because of the confusion of it, because I don't know if I'm still being considered or not. It's just all confusing on this fucking website, man. You ever go through this, I'm telling you right now, it's a headache. If you can find a job sooner than later, that will be your best bet, because waiting on this government assistance to be able to talk to somebody, like, it's a headache. Like, I feel really bad for the people that really depend on it, because I'm dependent on this because of, I fell on hard times because I got let go, and rightfully so. I've paid my dues to be able to earn this shit, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it if I'm being real. But all in all, just know, like, you're gonna have to have some patience with government assistance, because they have a process, and I respect the process. If I I didn't have like all this shit showing that's contradicting one and the other, I wouldn't even went. I would have just waited and just, you know, if I did go, I would have. If that lady would have told me that, I would have left. I was like, all right, cool. I'm still being considered. So the good thing is me showing up helped, where the lady that was helping me, she escalated my application to be, what's the word I'm looking for? To be assigned to a caseworker. So once you get a caseworker, they're going to be able to go through the process with you to see if you're eligible. And I'm praying I'm eligible. I don't see why I wouldn't be. I have a condition, which is technically a disability. I don't ever put that on my applications though, because I feel like they'll still discriminate no matter what the shit says. And then I'm already approved for SNAP benefits, so I don't see why I wouldn't, but you never know, because this shit is just so weird. I actually applied to the Georgia Access, which is like the alternative to Medicaid, where you buy it through the marketplace. And I wanted to see if I'm eligible for what they call a premium tax credit, where they basically give you an amount of money to add to your premium to pay monthly, so that way it brings down your costs. I wasn't eligible for that because I don't make enough. I'm thinking I wasn't eligible for it because I make too much. And when I called the hotline for that too, and I'm just like, I was able to actually talk to someone and they explained it to me. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, why would I not be able to be eligible? I don't even make that much money. I have unemployment or whatever. She's like, well, you don't make enough to receive a tax premium. And then it clicked to me. I'm like, I don't make enough. It's not that I make too much. I don't make enough to be able to have even this Georgia Access bullshit. I shouldn't even be trying to get a private plan or whatever. So therefore, I'm eligible for Medicaid. That's what that should mean. So it's a headache. Y'all pray for me that I get approved for it for right now, but it's just been it's a process, man. I'm just so tired of even having to be in the situation of needing assistance. Like, I feel bad because my parents have been shoving out money damn near every week to help me, and it's like, I don't like being in this position. I never wanted to be in a position where they had to do this for me at this big age, but shit happens. I'm appreciative of it, and I pray one day God blesses them with even more. But where I'm going to leave off this episode talking about, so there's a chance of me going back to one of my old jobs. I put in an application. The location is different, but it's the same company, and it's the same position I was in when I left. But I don't know. So I didn't get fired or anything or laid off. I actually left for another opportunity to be in a warehouse supervisor. So when I left that company, I was actually going to transfer to another building to do the same job, but it's a different system. Everything it was actually automation that the building had. So I was going to do that before I got the offer for the warehouse supervisor position. So when I left there, I was actually leaving on good terms. There was no bad blood. I was told that I was rehireable. Hell, they wanted to keep me. They were going to try to offer me a warehouse supervisor position there. I was like, Why would I stay now when y'all weren't trying to offer this to me when I was trying to get there? I was applying for the position through the company and they were not giving me an opportunity. I believe my director kept blocking my opportunity to become a supervisor. But he ended up leaving the company. And then another guy came in. And I kind of got turned off with the whole location that I was at. And although I was going to go to another location to do the same job, but a different setup, I had the opportunity to become a warehouse supervisor. I had people that were supporting me, that were above me, that wanted to see me grow with the company, but they were like, take the opportunity elsewhere if you're not going to be able to get it here. It's like, cool. So I ended up going to the other company. That's the company I ended up getting laid off with a year and a half into that. I did try going back to this company, my old company, once. Had an interview and everything. Actually, I had 2 interviews because I applied for a warehouse supervisor and I applied for the other position, which was a lead position. So I had an interview with for a warehouse supervisor, and that didn't work out. And honestly, I didn't care for the location. It was further out. And then the other one, I got an interview with a place that I was going to take the job, the same job that was offered to me before I left, that was already offered. I interviewed with someone different, but I ended up seeing one of the people that interviewed me before. And everything was going smooth. Like, the interview was long as shit. We talked, we chopped it up. It was just a good flow of energy. I thought I thought I had it. I didn't get no calls. I didn't get not one call back because I don't even know what happened. Honestly, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was threatened by me, because I did say I want his job. But I meant that in a way where I'm thinking he's thinking about moving up of whatever's next. Not me trying to take your job. And I don't know, maybe it came off wrong to him, but I just want him to know, like, I'm so interested in growing with the company. Didn't get that position, and I didn't hear not one word. I called, I emailed, I did everything I could just to hear back. It didn't work out. So I just thought maybe I'm just not meant to go back there. I was like, I know that I was told I was rehireable. I know my reputation wasn't bad. I had a good reputation with upper management. I might have not had it on the people that were under, that were just regular workers, because I was highly critical of the way they were and their attitudes and their thoughts. But I gotta be real with you. I probably was wrong in the way I treated some of them, because I was looking at, I'm trying to move up. None of y'all trying to move up. Y'all just want to stay where you are. Like, that's so lame. Y'all been here for years and none of y'all want to move up. But now, looking back on it and thinking about, like, everything that I've been through up to this point, I understand that we just need people that want to do their job. It's important that people come to work to want to do what they're doing. Not everybody's meant to move up. Not everybody wants to move up. They don't have to. Maybe they got something going on outside of the job that's better. And this is just a check. This is them getting their money and going home, which I respect. But back then, when I was just like, I was so like stuck on movement. And I would say back in 2018, when I first joined that company, my mind was already like ahead. I was like, I had a plan of like, okay, I'm gonna do this LTO stuff for so long, and then I want to move up. I was like, I don't want to stay low. So the good thing is I got to learn all this stuff that helped building my career for me to actually have a future with that company or wherever else I go. And I started to understand more about business and how supply chain works, all that good stuff. And I'm excited more about supply chain now more than ever. I'm reading the book, and it just got me thinking about the different avenues I can take in the supply chain and how it's not going nowhere. Like, we need the supply chain in every industry. So it really just broadened my horizons joining the company, and people actually giving me a chance to learn. Like, I literally learned like almost every like job on the dock when I first started in my first 6 months. And then I wanted to move out of the dock and into the office, and I learned the clerk position. And then I wanted to learn what I actually did down here, because I started up in Pennsylvania. But all in all, with everything I learned now, and now I really know what I want to do or where I want to be at, going back to this company would be such a win for me, because I feel like it's just a home. It's just a place that has so much growth opportunities and so many locations worldwide. Like, they are everywhere, and that's what I love about the company. They have locations all over the US, outside the US, and they really invest in their people. So I probably left prematurely the first time, but if I'm given another opportunity to go back and do what I was doing, because that was my favorite job I ever held, and it was such a dope job. It just sucked because the location I was at, the top leadership, he just sucked. Like, this was my first time working for a black man in such a high position. He was the leader of the building, the general manager. And I had a black female operations manager when I started that job. So it was just exciting to see and to experience working with my own. But then I understand sometimes some people ain't meant to be in certain positions. And so I know if I go back into, if I'm given the opportunity to go back into that position, there's so much that I've learned since then that is going to help me to really excel even more in my position. Because I was kicking ass in that position. I got Employee of the Month twice. I was the trainer of everybody upper management on the system. I just knew the system inside out, and I had a really good trainer when I first started that position. Sadly, he ended up getting fired, which sucked, because like, it was just stupid of him or how he got fired. But I had so much respect for him because he was so good at what he does, and he had so much patience with people learning the system. So, but yeah, so I'm hoping and praying that this is an opportunity to go back to something that I'm really good at and I really love doing, but I have now a better look at the scope of my future of what I really want to create a path for. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is longer than I wanted, but it's still not that long, which I'm thankful for. This has been a humble good time. I am Eden the Hero. Peace.